Okay, we might just bring item number 12 forward. You okay with that? I notice the applicants are in the room. Dennis, you're handling this one?
I would. Do you want to invite the applicants forward?
Yes, yeah. We'd like to applicants forward.
Zipline number 5.
So this is the Huka Zipline lease proposal. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
Okay, who you want to lead it off, Dennis, and introduce your...
Yes. So I'd like to introduce Rowan Sapsford. You'd all be aware of Rowan, sorry.
Simon Bockley.
Simon.
Good afternoon.
Nice to see you, Simon. And Rowan, welcome.
Just to clarify, I'm a resource management consultant for this agenda item.
Yes, okay, and I see you're probably doing item 11 as well, so we might flick back to that. But
Yes,
okay, so Huka Zipline.
I was just going to say, Your Worship, that Rowan is acting for Zipline Limited.
Right, thank you.
Right. You have before you a proposal for the Zipline. If I draw your attention to page 12/4, 12/5. You'll see there an aerial of what is proposed. It's if members are unaware of it, it's largely a steel cable or double cable, some metres off the ground, and it creates the opportunity for people to zip along the line. I'm not doing justice to this.
Simon might be able to fill it.
A flying fox, basically.
Yeah, a flying fox. Yep. So the proposal is to have an office in the vicinity of the helicopter cafe there, and run the zip line in the road corridor to the east of Waraki Drive, terminating in where the rest area currently is. And I think it would probably be better if you've got any specific questions on the proposal itself to direct them to Rowan or Simon.
So it runs parallel with the side of the road, basically. Is that correct?
Yeah, pretty much parallel. We still haven't got our final details of our surveying yet, but it does run through the gullies, etc., and through the trees.
So it's all on council land? Yeah, and classified as road reserve. Yeah, cool. Councillor Krasowski?
Yes, thank you very much. A couple of questions. Firstly, sounds like something for my bucket list. So,
Sound like work.
the first question that I have is that what is the current canopy height all along that corridor?
Well, the current canopy height would have to be sort of 30, 40 metres. I see in the proposal they've got the tower heights at 30 metres and not at 30 metres. That was basically that would be the maximum height from the wire to the bottom of the gullies. So our tower heights are going to be around 12 metres, 30 metres.
Okay, right.
So basically, all those towers right through there, the platforms will be inside the canopy of the
Right. So it won't extrude over the canopy. Okay.
Yes, inside the canopy.
Yep. Yep. The next question that I had was related to you say that there will be an aerial walkway connected to platforms. Is that on a wire or is that
No, just think of a walking bridge, a wire walking bridge with timber steps inside it. They're very common all around the world with this sort of activity. It's just through one part of the gully that we're looking at from one ridge to the next ridge, just to break the tour up to keep it a bit different.
Okay, so that's another activity for the bucket plan. And my last question, if I may, is in your peak period, what would be your expected or anticipated additional bus service movements?
Well, basically, the company, the business will be operated from down the bottom of the down by the helicopter and the souvenir shop.
Yes.
And we'll be busing people backwards and forwards. We'll have buses with 10 people at a time.
Yeah.
As such, or maybe a bit more.
Yeah.
And we can do up to, we want as many people as we can. We can do up to probably 400 people a day if as the business builds over the time. So basically, it will just be our own equipment moving up there, and be no public parking up whatsoever.
No. I was just trying to sort of look at the number of additional buses using that narrow road, and how many movements that would create, your activity would create during the peak period. That's just.
Yes. Possibly 4 an hour.
4 an hour.
Of our transport.
But that wouldn't be the large buses you're talking
No,
about?
the large buses won't be up there. It'll be our own small coaches.
Okay, thank you.
Councillor Williamson?
Thanks, Simon. Just want to clarify on page 12/1, you've got, just before the consideration, you're seeking an exclusive lease for these sites to ensure they're able to be accessed, but just trying to get my head around the difference between a lease and a license to occupy. You'd be happy with that as well?
Oh, yes, basically that's what, Dennis will be able to explain that.
Through you, Your Worship, you're not able to issue a lease for a road reserve. What you can do is issue a licence to occupy, and that's a short-term licence to occupy.
Yeah, thank you.
Chairman, could I just follow the use of the word road, and I've got the map here and it's not on the road. Should we be referring to road reserve rather than above a road? And then it mentions in 12/1 at the bottom for a temporary period. What's temporary?
In answer to the first question, in strictly legal terms, road reserve is road, irrespective of whether it's formed or not. The temporary period is something that would be up for negotiation.
Between the council and the...
Correct.
Thank you.
Councillor Cousins?
Just through the chair, I just wanted to say to Huka Zipline, also Taupo Zipline, sorry, very professional presentation, so thank you. And the second comment was, if you were declined here today, we've got some nice land in Turangi we'd like to put you on. We'll hook you up.
Thank you very much.
Okay, any other questions of Simon or Rowan?
One final one, and that relates to you're seeking a 30-year lease. What would be the absolute minimum that would allow you to be profitable?
Well, 29 years. It's substantial investment for us to do this business. But it's something that there's a gap in Taupo and the tourism department. We think it's a great thing. It's the 5th most popular excursion in the world at the moment, ziplining. It's really big. So I think I'd like, the longer the period, the better for us.
I can see Destination Great Lake Taupo General Manager jumping in his seat there, rubbing another product that we can offer. So certainly, it's just a wonderful. If it comes off, it's a wonderful thing to add to our tourism industry. I would suggest. Councillor Park.
I suppose, Mr. Green, around the negotiations for the licence to occupy, how do we need to define that in the resolution in regards to time frame?
My suggestion would be that you leave it to officers to negotiate with the applicants, assuming that you're happy to approve the activity. As I think Councillor Krastowski said, is that there is going to be a minimum time which is economically feasible. From our perspective, I guess the shorter time, the better. We don't know what the future of the road is, but there'll be a sweet point there somewhere.
I'd be happy to move the recommended resolution 1. Thank you.
Before it's moved, I've got one question in regards of, and I've got down here market rent. What's the procedure for working out, is the rent or the licence to occupy cost as per what we would normally be charging a given area out for? How does that work?
This one's a little bit different. It hasn't been explored, and it's something that I don't have an immediate answer for you. It's something that we'd need to investigate and work out.
It's likely to include a valuation.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Just through the chair, I just had a question for Simon. Look, I love the idea, and it'd be on my bucket list too. I just had one question in terms of exclusive rights to this area. You mentioned like to see some exclusivity so that there aren't any other activities that might cause safety issues for what you're doing. What would you envisage that might be?
No, we did talk about this originally. I think there may be other people interested in putting some sort of walkway through there, but the plan is, I've been talking to Greening Taupo. At the moment, that whole area on the side of the road has been a dumping ground for many, many years.
Yeah, it
Walk
has.
through, that's a mess. So our big plan is to clean it all up, take all the rubbish out of there. We plant thousands of native trees through there, which will bring all the birds back, which, hey, it's
Fantastic.
oysters, so the public can walk through there. It's
Okay,
it will
so
enhance our business.
enhance the area. Great.
Oh, totally. It's all part of it.
Good, thank you.
Exclusivity is more around the actual towers.
The towers and the buffer zones. Yeah, sure. You wouldn't want to get too close to those anyway, I imagine. Thank you.
Very good. Okay, well done, gentlemen. Thank you very much. I think it's been moved by Councillor Park. Did I have a second by Councillor Williamson? All those in favour, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Carried.